Talking to my producer, Miss Peaches. Coming in from West we go. She thought it was East we go, but I was like, nah, it's West we go. East we go to get to West we go. Only in New Orleans do you drive due east to go to the West Bank, which is due south of the city. It's kind of mind-boggling. The West Bank is south of New Orleans, yet it is the West Bank. And to get there, you drive on a bridge where you are going due east, directly to the east. You notice when you're crossing over to the West Bank, you can see the Chalmette Refinery, New Orleans East, all of that, NASA building, all that stuff, because you're going east to get to the West Bank. And then, of course, when you get to the West Bank, you're hooking a big U-turn, kind of at the bottom of the bridge, if you notice. And then you're beelining west. As in West we go, Lapalco, Louisiana Power and Light Company. Or maybe you're heading to Norco, down the I-310, New Orleans Refinery Company. Wow. Thursday afternoon edition of the program. Hanukkah starts tomorrow. Did I mention Friend and Company Fine Jewelers, guys? Hanukkah starts tomorrow. Boy, as a kid in grammar school with a lot of Jewish kids in my class, 8 days of presents, these kids would show up. The Jewish kids would show up with the present at school the next day. The little car, the G.I. Joe, the toy, whatever. I'm like, what? I got like another week or two or for till Christmas. Or maybe Christmas runs in the middle of Hanukkah and I'm getting, a few presents, but all in one day. 8 days of gifts. Christmas, one day. I kind of felt ripped off as a little Catholic boy with those Jewish kids in my class bringing their presents in all week long. I'm like, what do you mean 8 days? The Jewish religious leaders should have some empathy for other religions. Come on. Everybody else has like a day or two, maybe 3. 8? Come on. You don't realize it, but little Catholic kids, they're getting really their feelings hurt. What's going on here? Why don't I get 8 days of gifts? Jaden Daniels named the AP College Football Player of the Year by the AP. I think a lot of folks, you can't expect anything, but you're hoping. He's the favorite. You never know, though. Heisman Trophy on Saturday. Better be Jaden Daniels, huh? Better be Jaden Daniels. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday. I went to Trey Yen. I was on the North Shore knocking out a little business. Trey Yen, hot pepper chicken lunch special. Absolutely fantastic. Trey Yen in Mandeville, Tuesday through Friday. Fantastic lunch specials. Most of them for under $10. Tough to beat, Trey Yen.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Veterans Boulevard, where the brothers Fausto and Roland are serving some of the city's finest Sicilian and Italian cuisine. From New Orleans' first family of Sicilian and Italian cooking, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store, and you can see they're a little intimidated, last week, I saw the young man. I said, "Hey, what can I do to give you a hand?" He said, "Well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place." So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool, New Orleans. NOLAAC.com is your cool spot.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Welcome back on a Thursday afternoon. Corey Johnson with you. Happy Hanukkah. That starts tomorrow. Norman Lear passing away at 101 years old. My God, from the early 70s into the mid to late 70s, just year after year. All in the Family, then Sanford and Son, then Maude, then Good Times, then the Jeffersons. Just crazy. Hit after hit after hit after hit. Wow. Speaking of wow, I can't keep up on this. I had to bring in an expert. I'm not kidding you. This is just, it's mind-boggling. It's mind-blowing. Cassie Sherm from Channel 6, the investigative reporter, did a pretty darn good job trying to break this thing down. I think you could have this at a university and room full of college students could work on it for about a week. Congratulations to the IG for getting all of this done. A lot of work. Rafael Goyeneche joins us from the Metropolitan Crime Commission. How you doing, Rafael?
I'm fine, Corey. How you been?
I'm doing well, man. Happy holidays and all that stuff.
Hey, same to you.
Yep.
Same to you.
Hey, this IG report, the Vappie investigation, and I used investigation lightly with the Public Integrity Bureau and the hard drive, the audio. This thing's just hard to follow. I mean, where it started, all the hands it got into, and I'm not talking like media and the general public, but I mean, Denisha Turner, the police monitor, J.P. Morrell, Belden Batiste, part of the recall, W.J. Johnson, some local activists. I mean, this thing's crazy, Rafael. Can you piece it together?
Well, I'll try. I mean, so this is really our fifth exposure to different levels of the improper relationship, the allegations of an improper relationship between the mayor of the city of New Orleans and a member of his security team. So the genesis of this whole thing was last year, the Crime Commission released some photographs of the mayor and Officer Vappie coming and going from the Pontabla apartment. And shortly after we did that, Fox 8 and Lee Zurich released some videotapes that he obtained from public records request documenting the same thing, the mayor coming and going from the Pontabla. So as a result of that, you were able to see Officer Vappie going in at the same time as the mayor and then leaving hours later, sometime appearing to have spent the night in the apartment, and the mayor leaving at different times from Officer Vappie. So PIB launched an investigation into the information that was first provided to the public by the MCC and then by Fox 8. And when that investigation started, the mayor of the city of New Orleans called it a witch hunt. So the mayor of the city of New Orleans is the appointing authority for the police department. The mayor of the city of New Orleans is the appointing authority for the city attorney's office. So when their boss speaks out saying that an investigation that's being conducted by the police department and the legal advisor to the police department is the city attorney's office, and they both know that their appointing authority considers this a witch hunt, it is influencing the outcome of that. So we saw the Federal Consent Decree Monitor issue a report saying that Officer Vappie and the PIB investigation was flawed, it was incomplete, that he was given preferential treatment, departmental policies weren't followed, because what we ended up finding out is that during the course of that investigation, the PIB or investigators in the Public Integrity Bureau were compelling officers to give statements. Those statements were memorialized via digital tapes. Come to find out that a thumb drive containing the entire statements of everyone that was interviewed by the PIB investigators was turned over to the city attorney's office prior to the report being finalized.
Let's stop there for a second, and I don't mean to interrupt you because you're rolling along. Why did Denisha Turner, the city attorney, get a copy of that thumb drive?
Well, we don't know. So one of the things that the Inspector General's office said is that he was not able to determine or discover any evidence that thumb drive was turned over to the public or a third party intentionally by the city attorney's office. But keep in mind, the city attorney's office defends actions before the Civil Service Commission when officers are disciplined. So normally, the normal progression of an investigation is the investigation gets written, it's submitted to the superintendent. The superintendent appoints a panel to review the facts and make a recommendation, and then the superintendent decides what the appropriate discipline was. So what you had was, before the investigation was done, before any discipline was rendered, the statements of everybody were given to the city attorney's office. That is atypical. That's not the normal progression of the way matters are handled when it comes to police investigations.
No, I don't know why she would be included at all.
Well, so we don't know, and the Inspector General was not able to determine why that occurred, but we know that it occurred, and then the city attorney's office supposedly by mistake put that thumb drive in a public records request document, disseminated it to a third party pursuant to a public records request.
This was this W.J. Johnson, the local activist person?
Exactly. And then
they listen to this thing that isn't what they requested and don't return it.
And they turned it over to the media.
Wow.
Or it got in the hands of the media.
It's
so
unreal.
Every one of the statements of the officers was publicized. And that has a chilling impact on officers cooperating, because two other members of the executive protection team were interviewed, and both of their statements were not supporting and were contrary to what Officer Vappie's statement was. They said that they believed that it was inappropriate, and they were worried about Officer Vappie's relationships with the mayor.
Yep.
And both of those, and ultimately the police department decided to just reprimand Officer Vappie, which means that he can't appeal that. So there's no reason for the city attorney's office to even be involved in this case. Should not have had the audio tapes. So that information that was leaked out, we don't know, and the Inspector General is not able to determine if the mayor was privy to that. But ultimately, because those tapes were made available to the public, everybody in the city of New Orleans, including the mayor, had access to that information.
Now, what about the police monitor's involvement in saying that the NOPD leaked the audio?
Well, so what the police monitor doesn't have investigative capabilities, and it appears that it was the city attorney that actually released the thumb drive containing the audio statements, not the police department. The police department provided the thumb drives to the city attorney's office. And all of this, I'm saying that this is the fifth report that we've seen on this.
Yep.
So there was the federal consent decrees monitor's report saying that the Vappie investigation was flawed, it was incomplete, and it didn't follow the normal trajectory of other investigations conducted by PIB involving officers. And as a result of that, Judge Morgan, who's presiding over the federal consent decree, scheduled a hearing commanding the city to come into court and show cause why their position and present evidence as to why they should not be held in violation of the consent decree for the way that investigation was handled. After 4 days of testimony and a couple of weeks of the judge evaluating all of the facts, the evidence, and the testimony, she concluded that the city had in fact failed to meet its burden of proof, that they were in violation of the consent decree, that investigation was flawed, it didn't look at payroll fraud, and it was handled differently than other investigations. But in lieu of sanctions, which she could have imposed, the new superintendent, Ann Kirkpatrick, stepped in and said, wait, don't sanction the city. We can do better than this. And the new police chief proposed a corrective or remedial action plan to reduce the potential of this occurring in the future. So the judge elected not to sanction the city. So this is the most recent report documenting the flawed nature of the investigation. So everybody knows about the allegations against the officer and Mayor Cantrell. Now they know that the independent police monitor didn't follow policy and cooperate with the with the Inspector General's office as required by the city code.
Hold that thought. Coming right back. More with Rafi.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe. For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday afternoon. Rafael Goyeneche with us for a few more minutes. He's with the Metropolitan Crime Commission. Hey, Rafael, before we continue, how can folks find out more about the Metropolitan Crime Commission? How can they report some deviant behavior, something criminal behavior they think maybe between the city, a contractor, something going on with their elected officials, or how can they get those email blasts that you guys put out with the crime trends and the like?
Right. So what you're referring to is, we're 71 years old as an organization, and we were created by the business community in 1952 in recognition that crime and corruption are disincentives to growth. So the founders of the Crime Commission wanted this organization to serve as a conduit between the public and law enforcement. So they recognized that people that had information about misconduct, whether it be ethical, administrative, or criminal, another word for that would be whistleblowers, weren't treated very kindly by the system. So that's why we were created, to facilitate the flow of information from the public. Has information about wrongdoing, provide it to us, and we will assess it and make the referral to the appropriate agency. If someone wants to talk to us confidentially and tells us that we cannot disclose their name, we'll abide by those wishes. So if you want to talk to anyone about something, and it doesn't have to just be about the city of New Orleans, it can be anywhere in the state of Louisiana. You can call us at 504-524-3148 or go to metrocrime.org, which is our website. You can file complaints via the web portal that we offer there. You can also register to receive free email blasts that we put out every week about crime trends within the city of New Orleans. We issue reports on the police department, district attorney's office, and the courts. And we put out some information that the public otherwise wouldn't have access to, and there's no charge for it. You can just subscribe, add your name to the email list, and that information will come out to you on a weekly basis.
Hey, Rafael, the police monitor texting Council President J.P. Morrell, Belden Baptiste, part of the recall effort, has run for public office in the past, kind of just a New Orleans character type of person out there that gets involved in politics. I can't keep up with this. This is crazy.
So really the essence of this is that the investigation into Officer Vappie's relationship and activities with respect to his duties as a member of the mayor's executive protection team was essentially inappropriate because he was sanctioned by the police department. Now that we're finding out that not only did the Public Integrity Bureau investigation not go far enough, that some liberties were taken where information that is not normally shared with the city attorney's office prior to the investigation being concluded was shared in this particular case. That information was released not by the police department, but by the city attorney's office. And the statements of those officers that were compelled to testify were made public, which may be a violation of the Police Officer Bill of Rights, and certainly will have a chilling impact on officers cooperating with other PIB investigations going forward, because now they're concerned that their statements that are supposed to be confidential may be leaked out to the public, and there may be repercussions for that. So we've seen that documented by the Federal Monitor. We've seen the court reach that conclusion, Judge Morgan and the federal consent decree judge. Mm-hmm. And now we've seen this most recent report by the Office of Inspector General confirming that the source of the leak wasn't the police department, but was the city attorney's office that made the mistake. And I can think of no reasonable public purpose for the city attorney's office having access to those audio tapes at that point in time. It's very unusual, very atypical for that to happen, and that's been documented now by 3 different entities: Federal Monitor, the judge in a hearing, and now the Inspector General in his most recent report that came out a day or so ago.
Anything else we're missing? Anything to wrap this up? It's confusing as hell, that's for sure.
I know it is, and I'm sure the public is tired of hearing about all of this. So everything that we've seen up to now is all administrative violations and inappropriate things and possible violations of city code and the police officer bill of rights and departmental policies and procedures. But there is still the potential for a criminal investigation in this.
That's all I was going to say. Without the consent decree, the feds overlooking it, without the IG, without the feds coming in with an investigation, this would just be business as usual in New Orleans, Rafael, and Vappie would just move along and no real repercussions.
Well, right. So one of the most important things with the Inspector General's report were the recommendations that he made. So one of the recommendations that I think is really brilliant on the part of the Inspector General is that they're saying that anytime evidence transfers from the police department to the city attorney's office, it has to be through the evidence portal that the city pays for. So police department has to log all the evidence into an IT database. And if the city attorney's office is going to access that, they have to access it through that portal so that there will be a digital record of who, what, where, and when, and what the purpose was of the city attorney's office accessing that information. That information is on the portal. Then they're not going to be thumb drives hanging around on a city attorney's desk that can be mistakenly supplied to a third party.
Or
so with the Inspector General's office, not only did they document the wrongdoing and the inappropriate conduct that they did in this report, they proposed solutions that reduce the potential for that occurring in the future.
More secure communication between PIB and the city attorney, tighter protocols by the police monitor, better systems to handle breaches. No, and I think the IG's being nice. I mean, I it's not some kind of investigation or anything to lead them to investigate, but you got to be wary of the city attorney accidentally left the wrong hard drive. And then this W.J. Johnson, this local activist, didn't do anything wrong by releasing that. It's just thing's so crazy.
I mean, it was turned over to him by the city attorney's office. Once he has it, he's not bound by any city rules. He can disclose whatever he wants.
I guess it just seems like you got the wrong thing. You come and return it. It's like you're possessing stolen goods and saying you didn't know they were stolen, sort of. I don't know. I think anyone else, I shouldn't say anyone else, a normal person would have returned it.
Yeah, well, most people wouldn't know that they should return that to the Inspector General's office. If it went back to the city attorney's office, we probably would have never known about it. We wouldn't know all these other facts. So there was a double standard, and that's one of the causes of officers exiting the police force, saying that when officers leave, they're surveyed to find out why they leave, and one of the primary reasons in departures is that police officers believe that there is a double standard with respect to enforcement of policies and procedures and investigations that are conducted by PIB. So this case is an example of the double standard that exists. And I think, the Inspector General's report documents that and also proposes some solutions to reduce the potential of this type of quote unquote mistake occurring in the future.
Hey, Rafael, about 30 seconds. State police, they make arrests in New Orleans. The attorney general, the state attorney, the AG will prosecute. I kind of like this. It seems like similar to like when we get the feds involved and someone is arrested, under federal laws and tougher standards and more jail time and less parole and things of that nature than local standards. It seems like just sort of that more, but in a different way, letting the state entity handle it and the state police handle the arrests through the NOPD.
There's actually more layers to all of that. So that under Louisiana law, the Attorney General's office doesn't have original jurisdiction for prosecutions. The only way that they can step in and prosecute
Jason Williams has to green light it.
Exactly. So Jason Williams, a Democratic DA, and the governor-elect, who's the current Attorney General, and the Attorney General-elect have entered into an agreement with Jason Williams. And what people aren't realizing is that the Attorney General is not going to come in here to New Orleans and prosecute theft cases or low-level felonies and low-level misdemeanors. If they're going to be here and they're going to prosecute cases, they're going to be prosecuting crimes of violence, which means that you can expect to see a beefed up presence from the Louisiana State Police long term here, because that's what the Attorney General's office is going to bring to the table, experienced prosecutors to assist the understaffed. Exactly. So this is a win-win, and this crosses all political boundaries. You know, it can shows you that Democrats and Republicans, they may not agree with their political philosophies, but what is a universal is that public safety is important to everybody, including Democrats and Republicans, black and white, rural and urban. So I think that bodes well going into the future, that you're seeing our elected officials put their political philosophical differences aside and making that secondary to the more important responsibility of protecting and serving the people of Louisiana.
Rafael, always a pleasure. I really appreciate you coming on this afternoon.
Anytime, Corey. Happy holidays.
You too. That's Rafael Goyeneche. We're coming right back.
Now, we fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa, and now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here, and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Boy, when you look back at the end of the week and think about how many times you had Leidenheimer French bread during the week, it's pretty amazing. Had a roast beef po' boy earlier in the week. Yes, I had a real New Orleans roast beef po' boy, so it's going to be on Leidenheimer French bread. Went to a high-end restaurant with my mom and brother and some family and friends. Leidenheimer French bread, piping hot. Got a to-go order from a restaurant, Leidenheimer French bread. The official French bread of New Orleans, right? The official po' boy French bread. Since 1896, Leidenheimer French bread, Leidenheimer Baking Company. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday afternoon. He's a champion. He's an unsung hero. He needs your help because all he does is grind every day, including Saturday and Sunday. Rarely takes vacation, fully committed, has been that way for 35 years. Talking about Jeff Dorson from the Humane Society of Louisiana. What's happening, Jeff?
Hey, Corey. Thanks always for that generous introduction. Don't know if I deserve it, but yeah, we have a hardworking crew of dedicated people to do one thing, help animals in need. No brainer. We could use your help.
Yep. And Louisiana, we're terrible at it. We look the other way. Half of the 64 parishes don't even have any kind of shelter. A lot of the entities that do exist, like in New Orleans, you know, not the folks that they contract out do a terrible job. You can't get an animal picked up in Orleans Parish. It's a joke. The shelter is a kill shelter, put down about 1,000 animals a year right here in New Orleans because we look the other way. Jeff and the Humane Society of Louisiana do the opposite. They save probably 1,000 or 2,000 animals or more every year. Now, Jeff, I hope on the Facebook page you have the photos of this St. Bernard posted there because, quite frankly, that doesn't look like a St. Bernard. You really have to look at the head and face to see that it is, but the body doesn't look like a St. Bernard at all. What a shame, just these neglect cases. People claiming they can't afford pet vet care. You know, I want a 911, but I can't afford the tires or the oil change for that Porsche. So I don't have a 911. You get a dog, it's a responsibility. It costs some money. You got to bring him to the vet a few times a year. You got to get monthly, heartworm medicine, spay and neuter. These are just basic common sense things like drinking water and showering and brushing your teeth, and the person said they couldn't afford vet care. You guys going in there and saving this St. Bernard's life.
Yeah, $900 later. But there's a lot of sleepwalking people unconscious. When we interact with them and they have this half-alive dog sitting next to them, and you ask them, well, what effort did you make when you realized you couldn't afford vet care? What did you actually do? And the answer is typically, well, we didn't think we could do anything. Well, that's the wrong answer.
No, you should have just stopped at we didn't think.
Yeah.
You didn't have to add could do anything. Just we didn't think.
No phone calls, no knocking on doors, no SOS, no social media, no asking your church fellows or whoever you go to, whatever, nothing. So you don't do anything and he starves and you don't miss a meal. There's a gap here between you allowing something to suffer under your roof day after day, week, month. This poor dog has been suffering for 8 months. And this lame-o couldn't, we only found out about it by accident, which is what usually happens.
And do you guys have the dog,
any
Jeff?
energy.
You guys have possession of the dog now?
We do, and the bill is $900 for skin scrape, antibiotics, steroids, flea prevention, medicated bath, everything that should have been done 8 months ago. Malnourished because why? It has parasites. It can't even absorb any nutrients because the tapeworms are eating it. So, lesson: don't have a dog, or if you're in trouble, make an effort to call somebody, somewhere, a family member, friend, pastor, humane society. Do not sit and watch TV while an animal is suffering in front of you, please.
How long until this St. Bernard's back to health and is adoptable?
Give it 2 months. They bounce back well under vet care and TLC and nutrition.
All right, so you got a $900 bill right now. What's it going to be in 2 months? How much more?
No, he'll be stabilized within a week. So no more after a week, just basic care. But we could use the $900. So if you're listening, great time. His name is Gumbo. Fill his belly up with some dollars and food. HumaneLA.org, please. We can't do this without community support. And we get these calls from the state all the time, every day.
Yep.
And we can't, I don't want to allow it, but I can't do it without other people's help.
HumaneLA.org is the website. HumaneLA.org. Help Gumbo, this St. Bernard. Check out the photos. If you look at the photos, you go to their Facebook page, Humane Society of Louisiana on Facebook. You will go to their website, HumaneLA.org, and you'll donate right away. You'll have no choice. I mean, unless you have, you're just dead inside. I don't know what else to tell you. HumaneLA.org. Let's help Gumbo, this St. Bernard. These photos are just heartbreaking.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter, Instagram. I see you always on Twitter. Good for you, Corey, telling us what's going on in this backwards, lame-o, dysfunctional city.
Yep.
Thank you for that.
Yep.
So everybody, if you're listening and you care and you want to do a holiday gift, give it for Gumbo. He's been suffering for 8 months in an apartment with nobody caring out for him. Today's his first day of freedom with a nice medicated bath and steroids. He's feeling better.
Guess what this guy's saying?
Time for me to go until next week.
Yeah, Blue Boy's saying help out Gumbo. Blue Boy's saying HumaneLA.org is the website. Blue Boy's smart, Jeff.
He's one of us. He's on my crew.
Yep, he's on your team. HumaneLA.org.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson. On TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube. On radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend & Company Fine Jewelers Breitling time, 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
For us, it's really relationships. And if you care about the relationship, you're going to do the right thing for the customer all the time. When we're in design process of a custom-made piece, I have a test that says, if I wouldn't give this to my wife, I think we should pass and start over. If it's not perfect, it's going back to the shop. We're going to start all the way over. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson.
Susan Spicer joining us on the program.
Even when they presented me the award, the people that I look up to the most, Frank was there and Donald Link was there. It does cause you to reflect back and think about your whole career.
Maybe the Ella Brennan Award says that to you, like I've arrived.
It certainly is kind of the ultimate honor when it comes to cooking and hospitality in New Orleans and the world.
New Orleans style talk gumbo, served daily.
Doesn't get much better than that, huh?
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, Helm Paint, let us steer you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? When I was a kid, I was like Johnny Quest. I was fired up. Listen to this theme song. And then the animation was great. The stories were fantastic. The characters were off the charts good. I mean, Jade, the girlfriend of Race Bannon, just popping out of the woods smoking a cigarette. Come on. Every episode had a different song. Like, they had an orchestra writing this. It's real musicians, not some Kanye West working on a computer. Oh, there goes the laser. Kaboom! I love the spears getting thrown at the jet plane in the jungle, and they shut the door and the spears hit the door and they fly out of there. What a show. Jetpacks, scuba diving. Oh, Haji. I gave away a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate a while back. What did Haji say to get Bandit the dog to levitate and things like that? Some guy calls in. My dad says, seam, salabeam. I'm like, you are correct. 50 big bucks going to you. Yep. Johnny Quest had it good in Haji. Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. I guess they were homeschooled. That was like the first homeschooled kids in America. Johnny Quest and Haji. Race Bannon was the coolest dude on the planet. Race knew judo and was a marksman and was a great athlete and wasn't scared of anybody and could fly helicopters and jets. I mean, Race Bannon was just a badass. Race Bannon is one of the most underrated American characters in the history of this country. Race Bannon was a pure badass. Race was, I mean, first off, his name's Race. I mean, that's just an awesome name. Race Bannon. And then his girlfriend's name was Jade. It just doesn't get any better than that. And like I said, just could do it all. Scuba dive, jump out of a plane, hang glide, fly a jet, fly a prop plane, fly a helicopter, drive a boat, ship, captain a ship, do whatever he has to do. Great athlete, football, baseball, basketball, whatever. Marksman with rifles and pistols. Race Bannon, wow. Incredible. Let's see. Angie, I'm going to throw out a question. What was Dr. Quest's first name? We know Johnny's first name, Johnny Quest. Haji, Race Bannon, Jade, the girlfriend. What was Dr. Quest's first name? Give me Dr. Quest's first name, and I'll give you 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse Day Spa. Hey, guys, it's what she wants. 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse. A great jump start. Getting her a day of relaxation at the city's premier day spa, the Woodhouse Day Spa, 5 area locations, 2 on the South Shore, 2 on the North Shore, in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana. You can check them out online, woodhousespas.com, woodhousespas.com. What was Dr. Quest's first name in the Dr. Quest cartoon? I'm going to answer a couple of these questions. I guess I'll give you 5 minutes. I'll answer them before the break in 5 minutes. Who designed the Pontalba apartment? Same architect as Gallier Hall. Who designed the Pontalba apartments? Same architect as Gallier Hall. Give me the answer to that. 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse can be yours. 766-9480. 766-9480. You got the answer? I got 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse. Architect of the Pontalba Apartments. Happen to be the same architect of Gallier Hall. Who is LaToya Wilder? Who is LaToya Wilder? And it's not LaToya Wilder. Poet, playwright, author. That is not a correct answer. Who is LaToya Wilder? Give me the answer to that. I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. 766-9480. 766-9480. I'm going to give the answer to those 2 holdover questions in a couple of minutes if we don't get an answer from you. 50 big bucks. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse locations. 766-9480. Dr. Quest from the Johnny Quest cartoon. What's Dr. Quest's first name? 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. I had to get Rafael Goyeneche on last hour because this IG report, the hard drive with the audio from the Vappie investigation with the Public Integrity Bureau, the police monitor, the city attorney, J.P. Morrell, Belden Baptiste, local activist W.J. Johnson. I can't keep up on this. Just mind-blowing and confusing as hell. Crazy. Let's hit the phone lines. Rouse's Markets phone lines. 504-766-9480. 766-9480. Cindy joins us on the program. What up, Cindy?
Not much. I do know the answer to your question about the architect.
I needed I needed answers on life.
Oh, well, how much time do you have?
We'd have to go till after 6. I hear you. Wow, I'm impressed that you have answers because, Cindy, I have no answers on life. Maybe just a few. Be nice to people, that kind of stuff. You're calling us from the Lakeview area, Cindy?
Yes. I give advice. That's part of my job. So.
Oh, wow. Oh. Yeah, I used to live in the Lakeview area years ago, a few decades ago. My sister's in Lakeview. The steak knife people know her. The cactus folks know her and her husband.
Oh, yeah, great places. Great places.
Yep. No, Lakeview is a really great area, that whole area. Uh-oh. 5-0 coming.
Yeah, no, it wasn't me. I didn't do it, okay? I'm just going to say that much.
Cindy, pull over to the right, please. Hands outside the window of the vehicle. No sudden movements.
Yeah, well, I'm an attorney, so that would be pretty funny, huh?
Wow, yeah. All right, Cindy from Lakeview, the attorney.
Right, there we go.
All right, what do you know the answer to?
The architect, the same architect of Gallier Hall, you said?
Yep, for the Pontalba. Did you know the answer without the Gallier Hall hint?
What I knew the answer, but I did look it up because I wasn't going to call in with the wrong answer, but I was right.
All right, cool. What's the answer, Cindy?
James Gallier.
Yep, that is correct. You are correct. Excellent work.
Yeah, you right.
Ding, ding, ding.
Thank
What do
you.
we have for her, Johnny?
Cindy, the attorney in Lakeview. I got 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse. You're kind of right in the middle. You could go to the Metairie North Kenner location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. You could go to Mid-City, Canal Street at Carrollton. They're both right there for you.
Decisions.
Yep. Yeah, now you got to figure out what to do. Pedicure, manicure, all that good stuff. What kind of law do you practice, Cindy?
Well, I've been practicing 29 years, but what I do now is kind of boring stuff. Well, it's like a lot of big companies that you know about, and we all use their products, and they have issues, and then the group I'm with has to figure out how to resolve these issues.
Gotcha. Nice. That's where you smart attorneys come in and know the law and work it all out. Awesome.
Well, we hope for the best, right?
Yep. Cindy, thanks so much for listening. Can you hang on a sec?
Yes, sir, I will. Thank you.
Thank you. That's Cindy in Lakeview, getting it right. James Gallier designed Gallier Hall. James Gallier designed those Pontalba apartments. Gallier Hall, about 170 years old. Those Pontalba apartments, nearly 175. I mean, think about what James Gallier did there. City Hall is incredible. And those Pontalba apartments, like not decades, centuries ahead of time. Retail on the bottom and apartments on the upper floors. They're gorgeous. They're beautiful. I mean, Jackson Square, where else in America? Pontalba apartments on either side, the Presbyterian, the Cabildo, St. Louis Cathedral, the square in there, Place d'Armes behind it. I mean, so much history right on the Mississippi River. Just mind-blowing. What a gem. What an incredible part of our city. And James Gallier, what a great architect. Good job, Cindy in Lakeview. She's picking up 50 big bucks. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations, woodhousespas.com. Yeah, it's holiday season, guys. There's your problem solved. What to get her. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
When a young man comes in and they walk into our store and you can see they're a little intimidated. Last week, I saw the young man. I said, hey, what can I do to give you a hand? He said, well, I'm here for an engagement ring, but I don't think I'm in the right place. So I got him to my desk, and within an hour, he had purchased an engagement ring, had spent $1,000, and he was treated like he spent a lot more, and I'm sure we have a customer for life. My name is Kaare of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Served in New Orleans' finest restaurants, Leidenheimer French bread. There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Fausto's Italian Bistro on Veterans Boulevard, where the brothers Fausto and Roland are serving some of the city's finest Sicilian and Italian cuisine. From New Orleans' first family of Sicilian and Italian cooking, Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Oh boy, Miss Peaches is realizing Corey lives in Fantasyland. I was telling her the ideal woman, and like just right off the first thing was ridiculous, and then it just went downhill after that. And then I got kind of like you're not Ken, so quit trying to date Barbie. But I do have those stick-on sideburn things. Remember the Ken doll? He had the stick-on sideburns and the mod hair. I think it was called mod hair. Anyway. Boy, that Barbie movie kicked some butt and took some names, huh? It's $1 billion+ dollars. I don't really care to watch the Barbie movie, but I get the phenomenon because there's such a connection to Barbie that's just part of Americana. I think even today, A young girl today that's 8, 10, 12 years old knows who Barbie is before the movie. So it's like, is there any female in America of any age that is unaware of what a Barbie doll is? I don't think there's many females. I'm not saying they all had them or played with them. I never owned a G.I. Joe doll, but my friend down the block had G.I. Joe. We'd go to his house and I'd play with the G.I. Joe doll. But I never owned one. I don't think my sisters, 2 older sisters, there was never a Barbie in our house ever, I don't think. But neighbors had Barbies in the Barbie playhouse and the swimming pool and all that kind of stuff. Hell, right now in my house, I don't have a microwave. I use an Easy Bake Oven. The kids' Easy Bake Oven. Miss Peaches might be too young for the Easy Bake Oven. You remember the Easy Bake Oven? You had one? The light bulb basically baked the little crappy brownie thing. Just awful. And you had to eat it thinking it was good. It's just terrible. It was a really crappy little oven. But it did teach kids a little bit about cooking and the like. I'm sure there's someone, Martha Stewart might be like, if it wasn't for the Easy Bake Oven, I wouldn't be where I am today. Who knows? Hey, happy Hanukkah. Hanukkah starts tomorrow. Hey, guys, Friend and Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street. 8 gifts over Hanukkah, right? Make the big one. Real natural diamonds from Friend and Company Fine Jewelers. It's a no-brainer. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street in between Broadway and Carrollton. Real natural diamonds. If you go into any diamond jewelry store and they're showing you real natural diamonds and the lab-created diamonds, run from that jewelry store. And my God, if it's only lab-created diamonds, what are you doing in that jewelry store? It's not even a real jewelry store. They're selling 3-week-old, man-made, lab-created diamonds, junk from China. This is for the most significant person in your life, your most significant other, the woman in your life that you love. Guys, don't screw this up. It's a lifetime purchase. You don't want to look at that diamond necklace or earrings or engagement ring 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now, and every time you see it, you're living the lie. You remember the lie. You know it's not real. Don't do that to yourself, and especially don't do it to her. Go see Ken Friend at Friend and Company Fine Jewelers. All price points, and I'm not kidding you, thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers has some diamond jewelry items over $100,000. And they also have an entire room of real diamonds, natural diamond jewelry. Diamond stud earrings, diamond necklaces, diamond tennis bracelets, even diamond engagement rings, real natural diamonds, everything in that room under $1,000. You can spend a few $100s at Friend and Company Fine Jewelers and get real natural diamonds for her. Important purchase, guys. Diamonds. Don't go with the 3-week-old lab-created junk. Get the real deal. Limited quantity, appreciate in value, something special for her, someone special. Real natural diamonds, Friend and Company Fine Jewelers. Yeah, Hanukkah starts tomorrow. Yeah, as a kid in grammar school, I was just miffed. I was vexed, perplexed, stymied. I was just like, blah, 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 blah. I couldn't get it. This kid, my friend David, the Jewish kid, another gift. Jack, my friend, and another day, another gift at school. What's up with this? Day 3, 3rd gift in a row. Nice gifts. I'm like, what's going on, dude? Yeah, it's Hanukkah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and we have 8 days, 8 gifts. What? I'm this little Catholic boy waiting for December 25th. You get more than one gift on Christmas, but I don't know. I never got 8 gifts. Never in my life, 8 different gifts at Christmas. Wow. Hanukkah. And I remember in grammar school with my Jewish friends, Jewish kids in my class, 8 days of presents to my 1 day of Christmas. Plus, they're bringing the presents to school, you know? They're bringing the presents to school the next day. And then it's the next day and the following day and the day after that. I'm just like bummed out. Attention, Jewish religion. Have some empathy for other religions come holiday season. This 8 days of presents, it crushes other kids. Like me, little Catholic boy in New Orleans. Hey, I want 8 days of presents. How do I convert to Judaism? I was ready. Oh, wow. The IG report, talk about perplexed, vexed. I mean, just turned my brain to mush. That hard drive with the audio from the Vappie, I say this loosely, investigation. It was PIB, the Public Integrity Bureau. Integrity, I say that very lightly. I mean, Denisha Turner, the city attorney, why did she even have a copy of the audio? Why did the NOPD give her a copy of the audio? The police monitor with audio, and then texting JP Morrell and Belden Batiste, one of the recall people, getting the audio, and some local activist, WJ Johnson, getting it and leaking it to the media. I mean, just all of this is just insane and crazy. How many people involved, all the different characters, all the different entities, every one of them dropping the ball, it seems like. Thank God for Ed Michel, the Inspector General's office. You can sit there and go, Edwin Edwards is a crook. But when someone investigates and goes, here's what he stole, it hits home a little better. It's more significant. We know New Orleans city government's inept. We need it broken down. How is it inept? How do we fix it? How do we replace that person? How do we do it more efficiently, more effectively? No, I love this Inspector General, Ed Michel. This guy is a pit bull. He is relentless, apolitical, goes where the investigations, the audits, need to be. Does a great job. This is another great one. The only worry I have with Ed Michel, I'm serious. The only problem I have with this guy, my only concern, he's like Bob Sarasoli. Now, thank God he's younger. Bob Sarasoli was probably in his late 50s with some health issues when he took the job. It just beat him up. It wore him down. Within about 2 or 3 years, Bob Sarasoli's like, I'm going to die if I keep doing this job. Literally. Retired from the job, went back to teaching in Boston and not doing really, doing any kind of IG work full time. New Orleans beat him up. Ed Michel is a relentless pit bull. He doesn't stop. I mean, you knew audits, investigations, all of it was going to be much more of it done and increase compared to do nothing Derry Harper, that pathetic IG from before, politically connected, a hack, a joke, like the Jefferson Parish Inspector General office, just a joke, weak, pathetic, do nothing. No, you knew there'd be an increase with just any honorable person working just a little bit, but Ed Michel works a lot, is relentless, like I said, a pit bull, and it's like 400%, 800% increase. And then even after he does that, he increases his own increases. Hey, TV audience, mañana. Every day at 5:30, we say adios to the TV audience. You can continue watching on YouTube. Corey Johnson, the Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on YouTube. No, Ed Michel just is such a hard worker, so relentless. You chip away at the pile that is New Orleans crime and corruption, and it doesn't even seem to get smaller. I just hope the guy doesn't burn out. Seriously, wear himself out, because he is busting his tail and taking names. The glory days post-Katrina with Bob Sarasoli as IG, Jim Letton as the U.S. Attorney, Eastern District. You had Bernazani as FBI guy. I mean, those guys were just kicking butt. About every 2 or 3 months, Letton would have a press conference announcing some city contractor or a politician, with some crime, corruption. They'd deny it. They'd say it's a witch hunt. 3 months later, plead guilty. And the Hebe thing, that's just sinful how that went down. And it's so just ridiculous how it went down. Fred Hebe's the luckiest criminal on the planet, the luckiest deviant alive. No, and he changed the way how someone gets out of trouble. You not only pull like an OJ or any of the, rich, wealthy entertainer types, you hire the best attorneys. You not only do that, but Hebe took it to another level. You hire the best attorneys and you hire anyone that used to work in that office that's coming after you. So you'll know how that office operates. And ideally, get some secrets. If you remember Jan Mann and Sal Perricone, they were pit bulls. They were attack artists. No, those guys never stopped. We can hang on, huh, Angie? But they also, got a little sloppy and would post stuff on NOLA.com's comment section, which was like a talk radio program. It was out of control, especially folks using, fake names. And I forgot who Mankin, I think, was who Perricone was. And Hebe literally is like, I hired an FBI forensic person and they could see the writing style and all this, and they figured out it was Sal Perricone. It's just total nonsense. You hired, I think it was Billy Gibbons, who used to work in the U.S. Attorney's Office, paid him deep six figures, and Billy Gibbons basically said, Jan Mann and Sal Perricone go online and post stuff all the time. That's the way out of this one, and that's exactly how it went down. Now, Fred Hebe and Butch Ward, his father-in-law, or whoever he is, they own the dump in Jefferson Parish. You remember they had the what did Hebe call the list that the FBI got? His it'd be like a list of allies, but it's kind of like a funny name, like a movie name for allies. Trying to think what it was. Anyway, just had politicians on it, Garland Phil Robinette, all kind of characters. It was like his list of, people I could go to when the what hit the fan. Just crazy. And the what did hit the fan. Hebe was going away. Hebe and Butch Ward, it was all a scam. It still is, just politically connected hacks, taking advantage of the system. Blank resume, but very rich, very wealthy now. No, you got to give Hebe credit. Hire the best attorneys and then hire former employees from the office that's coming after you. This happened to be, Eastern District of Louisiana U.S. Attorney's Office, and Billy Gibbons was working at a private firm, and just the stars aligned. It might have been Gibbons going to Hebe and saying, dude, I got your way out. It's going to cost you $500,000, but I got your way out. Jan Mann and Sal Perricone comment on NOLA.com all the time and are putting information out there that they shouldn't. Their egos got a little bit, of them. No, that took down Perricone, and Mann took down Jim Letton, took down the U.S. Attorney's Office, and got Hebe a get-out-of-jail-free card. What a coup. What a maneuver. Hire the best attorneys and hire an attorney that used to work in the office for the people that are going after you. At the very least, you're getting an attorney that knows how the people that are going after you think, how they're going to come attack you at the very least. And at the most, hey, they're doing something that's sort of unscrupulous or stupid or silly or petty, but it might be enough to bail us out. No, I love a strong U.S. attorney. I love strong FBI. I love the IG. I had Rafael Goyeneche from the Metropolitan Crime Commission. I don't know about you. But I was raised like, I'm not perfect. I screw up. I make mistakes. But honor, integrity, ethics, pride, those are the goals. If I procreated, those would be the goals that I would try to push towards my children. So I live in New Orleans. I live in Louisiana, a broken city and state that is ridiculously corrupt and broken. We lose when New Orleans versus other cities, Louisiana versus other states. We lose. The South fastest growing region in America for 40, 50 years. Texas, fastest growing state in America, 40, 50 years. We didn't miss the boat. We missed the rocket ship around us, surrounded by unprecedented growth in America, and we're oblivious to it in Louisiana. It's crazy. Wacky right-wingers running the state, loony leftists running the city, just not normal conservative Republicans, not normal liberal Democrats, extremists. Hard to live in this state, just wacky nut jobs that think their way is the best way, and it's the hardcore of their ideology. Does not work. Only both sides work. If Louisiana had a little better mix, if New Orleans had any kind of mix, my God, can you find a conservative Republican anywhere in New Orleans government? Doesn't exist. That's a problem. So with all this corruption and nonsense and black versus white and Republican versus Democrat and bold life, soul, coup and all that crazy thinking and people on the take and city contracts and poor services and all that, my God, any person that is an honorable person that's worth their salt, man or woman in Metro New Orleans of any race, creed, sex, orientation, my God, you want a strong IG. You want a strong Metropolitan Crime Commission, FBI, U.S. Attorney's Office. My God, we need these watchdogs. It's New Orleans and Louisiana, home of Edwin Edwards and Bill Jefferson and Ilario. Come on. We need a watchdog or 2 or 12 or 50. Thank God for the media watchdogs like David Hammer at Channel 4 and Lee Zurich at Fox 8 and Travers Mackle and Cassie Sherm over at Channel 6. Thank God for these people, the Times-Picayune and their investigative people. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday. Yeah, you right. Warming up a little tomorrow, even into Saturday. Then cold, like a real wintry mix, like Sunday through next weekend. 40s and 50s only. We won't even see the 60s. Time to get out the wool hat, the scarf, the gloves, the big jacket. Hey, every day this program on radio, television, live streaming, CoreyTalks.com. We're on YouTube, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. Click to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free. It's all brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kennebra, right on the corner, the car corner, Williams Boulevard and I-10, right on the corner, right on the price. Number 1 Ford dealership in the region. Lamarck Lincoln, number 1 Lincoln dealership in the state. And now Lamarck Crescent City Ford, across the parish by the river in Elmwood. That's right, the legendary local Ford truck dealership for 70 plus years. Crescent City Ford, now under the Lamarck umbrella. Every day this program, The Neutral Ground with me, brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex, and now Lamarck Crescent City Ford.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center. It's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
You're listening to The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson.
Cotton Bowl winning coach Willie Fritz joining us on the program. Have you ever been part of a game that great?
A lot of things happen in the game. You just don't know the script. You got to adapt and improvise. You just got to keep playing hard the whole time. And our guys did an excellent job of that.
How big is yesterday for the overall future of the program?
You got to have the guys that really have a burning desire to get quality education and also be a great football player. You got to have both.
You've always have embraced New Orleans. You've been a great ambassador for the city, for Tulane University.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. My wife and I just love it here in New Orleans. And just everybody, the city's just sensational. It was a dime for a person who came up to me after it. I had tickets in the old Tulane Stadium. I've heard that a ton of times. And then, that's good that we're able to make some people happy.
That's Willie Fritz joining us.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Roll A.
The spirit of New Orleans. It's Corey Johnson on the Neutral Ground.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans' grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City. Corey Johnson back at you on a Thursday afternoon. You've probably been running heat lately because it's cold. Now, tomorrow and Saturday, I'm not kidding you, you might be running some air conditioning. We're going to get into the 70s again. But then Sunday through like next weekend, 40s and 50s only. 40s and 50s only on the North Shore, even colder. You're going to be running your heat big time. River City's total maintenance is there for you. It's really all you need to remember when it comes to air conditioning and heat. Honest air conditioning and heating experts that come immediately. I can't think of anything else you need with an air conditioning or heating outfit. They've been at it about 40 years in South Louisiana. Sterling reputation. It's fair and honest. Lucas and the boys, literally incapable of screwing you around. They will never do a service, repair, or replacement that is not absolutely necessary. As a matter of fact, the opposite. They'll string along your old unit for as long as they can if it's cost effective. River City's total maintenance. Honest air conditioning and heating experts that come immediately. You can find them online at NolaAC.com. That's all you really need to remember. Hey, man, I need heat help. I need air conditioning help. My heat's not working. My AC's not working. I need it fixed now. NolaAC.com. Heat help, NOLAAC.com. NOLAAC.com. Pretty easy. No, those River City's Total Maintenance, they've been my ace in the hole for air conditioning and heat for about 15 going on 20 years now. Put in a brand new system in my house about 3 years ago, 3-ton carrier, everything new, inside out, the ducts, everything. Perfecto, no problems, runs great. The amount of money I save on my electricity bill every month, especially in the summer or when I'm running the heat in the winter, pays for itself. Paying for the unit in the savings. I've had it about 3 years now. I bet you I'm about halfway home to literally paying for the entire unit compared to my old inefficient system that was just getting worse and worse and wasting electricity and not cooling down the house enough and never shutting off. NOLAAC.com. Hanukkah starts tomorrow. IG report. Tough to figure this one out. The PIB, Public Integrity Bureau, Vappie investigation, the hard drive audio leak. I mean, the police monitor, the city attorney, the JP Morrell getting text by the police monitor, this local activist, W.J. Johnson, Belden Baptiste, who said the hard drive was just left in an envelope at his house for some unknown reason. I mean, just crazy. No, thank God for the IG investigating this stuff. LSU quarterback Jaden Daniels having one of the best college football seasons in history. Named AP College Football Player of the Year. Saturday, I want to say expected to win the Heisman. He better. It'll be very disappointing if he doesn't. Wow, he was big time 50 years ago, in his 50s. Norman Lear passing away at 101 years old. From like 1972 till about 1976, 77, the mid-70s, Norman Lear owned it. Hit after hit after hit. It was obnoxious. How do you just hit grand slam home run? It's like Reggie Jackson in the 78 World Series. 3 home runs, 3 at-bats, 3 swings. All in the Family. Following that up with Sanford and Son. Following that up with Maude. Following that up with Good Times. Following that up with The Jeffersons. Are you kidding me? For you young pups under 40 that don't know All in the Family, Sanford and Son, Maude, Good Times, or The Jeffersons, just watch any clip of it on YouTube. And I'm not saying you'll be like, oh my God, what a great show. I'm going to watch every episode now. But you'll laugh and you'll get it. All in the Family was revolutionary. Sanford and Son, just brilliant. Red Fox, one of the funniest people on planet Earth in the history of mankind. Maude, Women's Lib, Adrienne Barbeau. Good Times, just Project Life in America, a sitcom. The Jeffersons, the opposite. Black man made good, like not made good like he was bad, but made good like money, and not rich, wealthy, moving on up to the east side, multiple dry cleaner locations, leaving yesteryear thinking Archie Bunker behind. And Sherman Hemsley, just the perfect, Jefferson, just perfect. George Jefferson, hysterical. Norman Lear, wow. Did I say All in the Family, Sanford and Son, Maude, Good Times, The Jeffersons? Just next season, the next show. Next season, the next show. Next season, the next show. Just, my God, just brilliant. Unbelievable. Hey, if you missed the 4 o'clock hour, you missed a lot. You missed Rafael Goyeneche on the program. Yesterday, it would have been Eugene Green you missed. Monday, it would have been Ghassan Corbin from the Sewage and Water Board. If you go to YouTube, go to the little search bar, put in The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. You can find all of our programs, including yesterday, last week, last month. Check it all out. Hey, tomorrow, a Fantasy Friday edition of the program. You know the drill, the usual folks. Frank Brightson from Brightson's Restaurant joining us in the 5 o'clock power hour tomorrow. I love visiting with Frank, talking about food and stuff like that. Tough to beat it. Plus Frank's a James Beard award-winning chef, and he's so humble and cool. Love Frank Brightson. That's tomorrow. Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans Inc. will join us. That segment tomorrow and each and every Friday brought to you by Latrim, the global manufacturing giant, a culture of innovation at Latrim, and they're hiring. We're about to fade into another year. New Year's resolution, maybe jettisoning that job you don't like and getting a job, a new career at Latrim. They have dozens and dozens and dozens of jobs available. There's one for you on their website. For a full listing of positions available, go to Latrim.com. Latrim spelled L-A-I-T-R-A-M, Latrim.com.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
That's what I said. Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
Since 1896, a true taste of New Orleans. Leidenheimer French bread.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Being a part of people's lives, from an engagement ring to a wedding band. Before you know it, the wedding day is here and groom and bride are exchanging gifts on that day. And not too long after that, there's baby gifts to have. And I just enjoy being part of other people's family, saying, Mr. Friend did my engagement ring and he did my mom and dad's engagement ring. My name is Ken Friend of Friend & Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
You know, body language tells you a lot about what a person's thinking. For instance, that means she has an interest in the finer things in life.
Neutral Ground with Corey
That
Johnson.
means she also wants a little fun in her life,
Yes.
but only with the right man.
Corey Johnson.
Now she's pouring a Colt 45.
You gotta love that
And
movie.
we all know what that means.
Yeah, you right.
Mind if I join you?
You must have read my mind.
Something like that.
The power of Colt 45. It works every time.
What is works what? What does it work? What does it do? It works every time. Like how? What are you trying to do? Man, I can't get this door open. These hinges need some oil. You pour Colt 45 on it. It works every time. Car's not running right. Just pour Colt 45 into the gas tank. The oil works every time. Works. What do you mean? What are they implying? Is there something sexual they're implying? Let me think. Billy D. Williams. It works every time. Yes, I think they were implying something sexual about Colt 45 brand malt liquor. I would kind of think the exact opposite, but that's just me. I don't know too many women like, yeah, I was on the fence thinking about going out on a date with Corey, but then I found out he drinks Colt 45 brand malt liquor, and I was like, why not? That put it over the fence. That got me going on that date with Corey, and by golly, 4 years later, marriage and 9 children. Thank God for Colt 45 brand malt liquor. I just don't know if that woman exists out there. I really was on the fence. You know, that guy, Jim, seemed like such a great guy. And, you know, but there was something about him. I just thought he was creepy. So he kept asking me out. And then one day, he didn't even see me. I saw him. He was in the park. He was chugging down a Colt 45 brand malt liquor. I ended up calling him. We've been together ever since. He's the father of my 19 children. Colt 45 brand malt liquor. All I can say is it does work every single time. I have 19 children to prove it. Thank you, Jim, for consuming Colt 45 brand malt liquor. Wow. Hanukkah starts tomorrow. Hey, guys, 2 suggestions. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers on Maple Street. Real natural diamonds. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers, Maple Street, in between Broadway and Carrollton. Go see Ken Friend. He'll take care of you. A day of relaxation at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. Guys, this is what she likes. Massage, pedicure, facial, and diamonds. Real natural diamonds. Friend and Company Fine Jewelers, Woodhouse Day Spa. It's holiday season. Hanukkah starts tomorrow. 8 days of Hanukkah. Fantasy Friday edition of the program tomorrow. Yeah, you're right. The weekend, just what the doctor ordered. How about getting the weekend started a little early? Fausto's Italian Bistro is open for dinner till 9 p.m. Outdoor dining, indoor dining, sit at the bar, check out the Pels on the TV, or get a to-go order. Some of the city's best Sicilian and Italian, wonderful, authentic, New Orleans-inspired Sicilian and Italian. Fausto's Italian Bistro on Vets. Go check them out. Yeah, you right. Thanks for Rafael Goyeneche joining us. Also, help out Jeff Dorson, the St. Bernard, $900 in treatment so far. Help the St. Bernard that they rescued. HumaneLA.org to donate. $5 or $10, anything helps. HumaneLA.org. What's that, Blue Boy? Thanks for hyping the animals. And what else? Tell folks we'll see them tomorrow.
You're on the Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. On TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube. On radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM. WSLA New Orleans.
Hi, it's Ken Friend from Friend and Company Fine Jewelers. You've got a friend in the jewelry business. Come see us over on Maple Street in Uptown.
Friend and Company Fine Jewelers, Breitling time, 6 p.m.